So this video is going to show you how we can get some organizational data, particularly on predatory retailers. First thing we're going to do is navigate to the DU library website. That's DU Penrose. And select that. Once you're in here, you just click on databases. And we're looking for reference USA, so we click on R, and it's right here. You'll find if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of that page, you'll see the electronic resource. You click on that, and then access to reference USA. And here's where you put in the DUID number and the passcode, and I'll give you those separately. While we're waiting to get in here, I'm going to write in it. So this is the main site of Reference USA. What we want to do is we want to locate U.S. businesses, so we'll just put the cursor over here and click search. And let's go. Okay, so this site comes up and we'll click on custom search. And you get into here, and I guess what I would suggest doing is doing geography first, as usual, and I usually do metro area. Eventually we'll get a new thing here, and let's start with, we'll just do Denver, for example. Once you select the state, if you just wait a second, the cities will pop up. So we'll do Denver, Aurora, Broomfield. And then you can go to business type. Here's where I like to, you can do it in different ways. Keyword actually works pretty well, so you just click on keyword. And you'll recall that we're going to be looking for a few different types of industries that prey upon the poor. So what I want to do here is type in rent center. It's pretty much the only main company that provides consumer type goods on a rent-to-own basis. So while we're waiting for that, so usually what will happen is you'll get these exact matches and related matches, and you just kind of have to comb through to see what looks right. And the Rent-A-Center here looks right, so I just click on that and it goes into my selected. You can go ahead and do the update count to see where we're at. And you can ignore the email count, just focus on the record count. And there's 28 Rent-A-Centers in the Denver metro area. So we can go ahead and click View Results. So here's all of the Rent-A-Centers, and you can see there's 2 pages. And what you want to do, because you'll notice there's 50 downloads per search, if you click on this one, it checks all of them on that page, and you can go to the next page and do the same thing. Now there's 25 on each page, so you can see there's 28 here. If there were more than that, you just have to do the first 2 pages, and then we would go to download. And then you get this, and I usually just will go with Excel, summary, and download records. And go ahead and open that up. So you get these Rent-A-Centers. So you get all these Rent-A-Centers, and there's 28 in this case. Now if you had more of them, what you do is you would leave this file up and running. You would go back to, you hit the back button in your Reference USA. And wait for that. And when this pops up, you would just uncheck your previous selections, and then assuming I had did the first 50, then I'd want to go to the next 50, so I'd go to page 3. There's no page 3, but I hit page 3 and hit return, and then check all those. Go to page 4 and check all those. Go ahead and download, and then what you do is just copy and paste all of those into the single one. You just copy and paste those selections into this one. The only other thing I would suggest doing is renaming these things something short and sweet. So company exec name, exec last, address, city, state, zip code is fine. Actually, let's just go with zip, credit, exec, gend, exec title, fax, IUSA, employees, sales, phone, SIC, SIS. So, looking at this, you can probably get rid of some of these. We don't need all of this stuff. And fundamentally, we're going to be interested in the address, the city, state, and zip more than anything, and of course the company name. So let's go ahead and rename this Rena Center down there, and then we'll file, save as into our folder. The 9703 workbook, and we'll call this DenMet RAC for Rena Center. And then we'll close it down. So that's how you can download organizations from this. Now, if you wanted to go back and revise the search, so one of the other things you might want to look at are some of the other kinds of organizations. So once we get back to this main site, you'll see that it actually continues on with our Denver area. That's fine. And then if I don't want Rena Center anymore, I can just click on that again and it removes it. And now I can do something like payday. And you'll see what we get here is you get these sort of exact matches, payday loans, and these codes. And then you get these more specific ones, payday advance, which is a particular company, check cashing service. And then it's got the same code but with a letter. So all you have to do is do the more general ones. Have those both down there and then update the count. And here we can see we've got 301. So in this case, you would have to go through and download 50 at a time, and then just collate them into a single Excel file. And then you'd have a full file for payday lenders. Here's an example. If I did pawn, I could just go ahead and do pawnbrokers, and I could download all the pawnbrokers in the Denver metro area. There's 103 of them. And then if I wanted to look at tax preparation, for example, let's see where we left off here. One of them we can look at is tax preparation. They do a lot of sort of predatory lending around the tax season with refund anticipation loans and refund anticipation checks. It turns out to be a rather high interest rate for people who are getting the earned income tax credit and various other kinds of tax credits. So you'll see the basic one is the tax return preparation and filing. Or if you go further down, you get into like H&R Block and other more specific companies. We can go ahead and just do the tax, no, not that one. Tax preparation, where to go? Let's try hitting return again. Doing the main one. Tax preparation and filing. Update that count and view the results. Now the three biggest tax preparation companies are H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, and Liberty Tax Service. And then there's a bunch of small ones as well. You can see we've got 622 results just for the Denver metro area. It's a lot more for larger cities. But one could go through, pick the first 50, and then download as an Excel file and so on, and then go back and get the next 50 and so on until you had all of the tax prep. So that's how you do that. Now the only thing I wanted to show you was how you geocode once you get this in. Let me go ahead and pull up the GIS here, and we're actually gonna, this is Denver, so that's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the data that I had previously saved for rent centers in the Denver metro area. Let me see if I can get this going. Okay, so here we are. What do we got? Here's the DenNet RAC. Double click to get in and get the sheet. And go ahead and add it. We'll go ahead and open that. Right click, open. And you can see that there's all of our stuff. Most importantly, we've got an address, city, state, and the zip will show up completely when we need it to. So what we need to do is be able to display those. So if you right click and geocode addresses, because we don't have coordinates, we need to use the address. And we can go ahead and use that top option. And then it's already reading address. Make sure it's reading the right table if you have more than one in there. Address, city, state, and zip. If this had been zip code, I probably would have had to go search for it. And then that's all you really need. And then just make sure it saves to wherever you want things saved to. And call this DenRAC. It's going to save it as a shapefile. That's good. And it'll go through this matching process, and it'll tell you what percent get matched. Usually you'll end up with like 97, 98% matched. And you get some who are unmatched or tied. That's fine. Then you just hit close, and you get your results right up there. So we can zoom in on those and increase their size so you can see them. Make them red. So you can sort of see where they're located, the rent centers in the Denver metro area. And that's about it at this point.